Hey everyone! This is for those managers out there who want to better understand where their direct reports want to go in their career. Now, I did something recently that I think was actually a really cool exercise, and that's why I wanted to share it. It's a little scary, but I want you to ask your direct reports to come to your next one-on-one with a job listing, something they either found on your internal job boards or external. It really doesn't matter, but come prepared with that listing and also a reason why it's interesting. Now, it doesn't have to be something that they actually want to pursue and they actually want to apply for. The reason why you should ask this is because it'll get to what's important to them. So, for example, they might have something that's completely off the wall, like totally unrelated to what they do today, like travel photographer. That might tell you that they really want to make time for that. PTO is really important to them. That flexibility is really important for them to be able to travel. They might come back with something that's a different direction than where they're currently going. So maybe you work in product management and your direct report comes back with a job that's in user experience design. That might be a really good talking point for you to say, you want to see if we can stretch you in those areas to see if it's a path that really makes sense for, your interests and your talents. You can also start talking about people management. You might find that one of your directs sends you a people manager role despite never having expressed any interest to you, but the scope of responsibilities is interesting. And that's where you can talk about what types of leadership roles have more of that administrative task versus, their team is leaner, but they're able to do the tasks that are more interesting to that person. That way you can start tailoring their career path to what makes sense for their interests. This is also where you start looking at the opportunities that are out there at your company that are related to what that person might want to do and start giving them those stretch goals. It'll also help you tailor your feedback when you do things like annual reviews or quarterly reviews and say, how do I get this person from A to B? If they're wanting to take on a role that is more communications focused, how do I take their communication skills from where they're currently at to where they need to be in order to be successful in that role? So also the reason why I suggest asking them to come to you with a job description is because it feels less intimidating. When you ask someone where they want to be in 5 years, I think there's this pressure to not only say, this is the direction I want to go, but also this is how fast I want to get there. Not everyone has the ability to plan out that far ahead naturally. And so this is a way for you to start just with something that makes them think and then ask questions to explore why it's interesting and how it might help them get to where they eventually want to go. It doesn't have to be a job that you hold them to that they definitely want to do. Now, the reason why it's scary as a manager to ask this question is because if they see an attainable job that is interesting to them, there's nothing stopping them from applying for it. But I think that the reward outweighs the risk here, because if your employees are seeing that you are being vulnerable enough to ask them what they want to do, even if it's outside of what they currently do today, and you're doing it with the intent of helping them grow into whatever's more interesting, you will be building that rapport with your employees and eventually helping get them where they want to go. And if they're moving on to something bigger and better in the long term, that's also going to reflect really well on you as a manager. I hope this was an interesting tidbit. Drop a like and subscribe if it was. Check out this video up here on the right about how to handle when you have too many meetings. There's a really good strategy I walk through here that can really help your direct reports if they're feeling overwhelmed, or yourself if that is a problem that you're having. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.